Hello everybody, my name is Anastasia and I live in Beijing, China for 8 years now, and I think since I came to China I have been stitching a lot, like a lot. And of course it means I have a lot of WIPs, which I'm gonna show you right now. This is my usual video at the start of the year, which WIPs I have. Usually at the end of the year I'm trying to finish as much as possible, and yes, I did. If you haven't watched my latest video, it was about how I finished 6 rather like medium and big projects in December. So since I finished those, I have less WIPs than I had last year. So last year I had 25 and this year I'm down to 20. And before it never bothered me to have a lot of WIPs. I actually just love watching when people have like 80, 100. It's like my favorite videos ever. But I don't know what happened with me. Maybe December affected me. Maybe just like this year I have new mood, new intentions. I decided to get down on my WIPs because I finish a lot. Every year I finish a lot. Last year I finished about 30. I had 30 finishes and I will show them in the next video, sure. But since I have a lot of finishes, I would like to have more new starts, have a lot of new things that they just announce them and I join the sales, I buy the patterns. But because I still have so many things, I hesitate. I hesitate to join sales. I hesitate to buy just like the patterns that just came out because I still have a lot. I have a whole like how to say 3 shelves of kits. I have a whole storage of patterns, and of course I want to stitch them all. Of course I dearly love them, and I really want to stitch them. So this is my, I would say, New Year resolution for this year. I want to get down the number of my WIPs maybe to 10. I will still have my like biggest ones, like the slowest ones, but at the same time I will have more freedom to start new things, to stitch maybe new releases and not look back and like maybe a little worry that I haven't touched everything this year, because I did touch almost everything. Like I finished a lot, but I also touched a lot. Last year was the first year where I counted how many stitches I do each year, and I did 156,000 stitches. I know this number is like very low compared to other Flosstubers with giant WIP piles. They do up to 500,000 stitches a year. Unfortunately, with my job and my like active lifestyle, I cannot do that much. I'm like very slow stitcher. Mostly I watch something or listen to something or even Zoom calls, so I don't focus on my stitching. Like I don't just sit down 2-3 hours and do 1,000 stitches. For 2-3 hours maybe I will do 200-300 stitches. So I'm a slow one. But I was very happy that I almost touched everything. The only thing that I haven't touched last year was this kit from Euphoria, and you can see the group in VK. This is a group that make their own wooden kits, and the only thing that I have not touched last year was this kit. So it contains of 3 apples. I already finished and FFO'd the smallest one. I am in the middle of the middle one and nothing is done on the big one. So it's like the story about the three bears and the Goldilocks, right? But this year, of course, I would like to finish this kit. It is one of the things that I'm focusing on a finish. Since I do have a lot of WIPs that are over 50%, and that will be very easy to finish. Just usually some other things like market preparations or some sales, some games, they take over these plans. But this year, I don't want to focus on the market. I don't want to focus on anything. I just want to focus on my inner self, and my inner self really wants to finish the bigger amount of older WIPs, let's say that. I want to have 20,000 new starts in 2025. Maybe not finish them, whatever, but I really want to finish the WIPs that I started in 2018, 2020, 21, 22, 23, things like that. And I have 16 WIPs that are coming from those days. I have about 4 WIPs that I just started in 2024, haven't finished them, but 16 are rather older ones. So I'm a bit tired of just having them. I'm still in love with them. I love touching them. I love stitching them, but I would like them to finish. So this will be one of those soon to be finished. One more WIP that I have for several years now is a WIP by Teresa Kogut. This was originally a gift from a friend slash subscriber here on the channel. We were talking a lot. She was commenting a lot, and she gave me like certificate to one of the LNS in America. And I ordered several patterns from them. You will see quite a lot today, which I already like stitching and started. I think I finished a couple, but I still have, it was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I'm so ashamed, but I'm stitching them. They are on the way. Unfortunately, this one was a mistake. I did I'd order from that LNS a different angel, but they sent me this angel. Never mind, I'm in love with this angel. I still want to stitch it, and this is how much it grew. For the last year, I only stitched this part. So yeah, shame on me, but this is a slow burn. I don't have any plans to finish it this year. I just want maybe to stitch more on it, and probably to finish 1/4 because the pattern is like separated in 4 parts. So maybe I want to finish like 1/4 of her, because I think the upper part will be easier to stitch. There will be less stitching because I'm not stitching the background. I specifically chose this plum even weave, so I don't need to stitch the background. But as Teresa Kogut said several times on her channel, she doesn't stitch her own patterns. And I cannot approve of her behavior. That's why they are so difficult, and there is too many color changes, there is too many onesies, there is like confetti everywhere. So yeah, this is not the easy project, but it is one of the really beloved ones. Every time I pick it up, I try to stitch as much as I can, and I do enjoy every stitch on it. One more pattern from that batch was the first day of Christmas from Hello from Liz Matthews. I love Liz Matthews. I love her personality, her like cheerfulness. I love that on her channel she not only presents her patterns, but every time she has a whole story about them. She tells like the whole inspirational thing, and you kind of like catch it. You catch this mood, you catch this inspiration, you want to stitch it. So I was really caught by this Christmas tree with pears and a partridge. I know it is from the Christmas song, But in Russia or China, this song is not popular. Like in the kindergartens, I think we sing like Merry Christmas, we sing like the sleigh ride, something else, but we never, I heard anyone on school or kindergarten sing like What My Beloved Give to Me. So 12 Days of Christmas, never heard it. I mean, I heard it in some movies and I know the existence of the song, but it's not a popular one here. So I'm not focusing on it as a Christmas decoration. I just want to make a pear tree with a partridge. So as I want to make a pear tree, in the instructions it says that you don't need to stitch the whole thing, you just need to stitch like the triangle, and I reached this pear. So basically this pear is here. I just need to stitch a little higher the leaves, maybe the cup of this pear, and then the rest of the leaves and these dots. By the way, this year this black hole appeared on my fabric. I have no idea where it came from. Why is it? I don't keep any black ink or black markers, black pens next to my stitching. I usually keep all my projects in a closed box, folded. So I don't know how it happened. But it is what it is. Fortunately, it won't touch the Christmas tree because basically it will finish here. Unfortunately, it's not one of my favorite fabrics. This is 18 count Ada, hand dyed by like a dyer on Taobao, and she did a great job. The color is really good, but it is stiff. It is stiff. It can stand on its own. Basically, if I just put it up, it will stand. So whenever I'm stitching it, it's not really as pleasant as other fabrics I have, and that's why maybe it goes very slowly. But I like the simplicity of the design. I like that it's growing very fast, and I think it has a very high chance to be finished this year. Maybe not half a fold, but finished 100%. You must be a very long viewer of my channel if you can recognize this project. This is originally should have been assembler by, I think it was 2015 or 2016 Sal by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I saw this pattern in 2018 on Stitching Mommy's channel, and I fall in love. I decided to change it based on my own childhood memories, because a lot of books that were included in the Sao, I have never read them. Like, maybe I have read them when I was older, but of course when you're older and you read children's books, they do not affect you that much. So for example, Christmas Carol or Secret Garden, what else? The Opera Ghost, they did not affect me at all, if anything. But instead, I had my own childhood books, which I wanted to represent here. So this is a mix mash of all the things I love, and some patterns I did myself, some patterns I copied from the Sao, and some patterns I was inspired by the people from the Instagram who also changed some of their favorite books. So, and I always get asked, like, what is it? Because people basically cannot recognize anything. I think in my eyes, I of course can recognize everything, but it is difficult because it's also pixelated. So I have Winnie the Pooh here, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, The Wizard of Oz. This is Pippi Longstocking. This one is the Sky Pirates, and not finished. Mary Poppins, Redwall, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, horror stories and Sherlock Holmes. So, and I'm so happy that this is my oldest WIP, maybe from 2018, but this is one of the things that give me a great amount of joy. First of all, I ordered this fabric for it. Like, I didn't like how it was on a lighter counts, on lighter fabrics. Secondly, I asked the dyer to hand dye every single frame just for my stories. So I had a list of stories, and I told her what kind of colors I want, what was inspired. So we chose the colors and we dyed them together. Like, she dyed them, I approved. Because in the original cell, I think there were only 3 colors of frames, but my sampler has every frame is a different color depending on my mood, on how I feel this book. Second, I already almost finished it. It's so close to finish. So this year I finished Harry Potter. You can see the Harry Potter, his little wand, Hedwig, the Hagrid's house, Snitch, and one of the Weasley flying on a broom. And this pink one is supposed to be like a squid in the lake. I don't know if it looks like that, but it's supposed to be. It has even like the golden lightning on his forehead. And I finished the Lord of the Rings. So I have a Hobbit. I'm not sure if it's like a Bilbo or if it's Frodo. I'm not sure which part of the Hobbit story I chose here. But this is a Hobbit, his house, an apple tree, Gandalf, of course. It's like kind of difficult to see, but whatever. And the Eye of the Sauron. Yeah. And then the last one, which I also charted myself, this was Sky Pirates. And all I have to do is finish his clothes, some flowers here, the flying sheep, and there's something here, I forgot what I put here, and just fill in the words, a little part of the banner, and fill in the banner. That's it. Like, I think there is like maybe 100 stitches left, or 150 stitches left at all, so it's gonna be a very definite finish this year. I wanted to finish it in December, but unfortunately didn't have enough time with all the markets going, with the preparations for the markets, New Year coming, like a lot of things were going on in December, but I still managed to finish a lot of things in December. I'm very happy, and if I finish this one, it will be the oldest finish by this moment. It's like 18, so it's like gonna be 7 years this year. Now I'm going to show you what lives in this beautiful project bag. This project bag was like kind of exchange with another Flosstuber. She's a Russian Flosstuber, so I'm not sure if you will be interested to watch, but she's an amazing sewer. She makes amazing project bags, and I gifted her quite a lot of Chinese credits, like a lot, and she made project bags for me, and this was one of them. It is one of my favorite at the moment. It's super cool, very big, and it fits in this project perfectly because it has very long like organizers with threads and a very big pattern. So this lives here, and this is Riolis, Russian company Riolis, based on the design of Alphonse Mucha. I love Alphonse Mucha's nouveau art. I love his works, I love his designs, I love his art, but I haven't found many really good cross-stitch designs that are based on him. I know Riolis company also have like other girls. I think they have like his 7 scenes girls, like envy and anger and something else. But I'm not sure I love their patterns. But when this one arrived, when this one just appeared, I was like, oh, I want to stitch it. And I still have this amazing love for it. I dearly, dearly love it. So last year, I take it with me to Japan. It was a travel project. As big as it was a travel project. And 5 days in Japan, I stitched only this. So last year, it grew really big. Unfortunately, I haven't been doing like the pictures from the beginning of the year. So if you really want to see what was, how were my WIPs at the beginning of 2024, you're welcome to go and watch my previous video on last year, but my previous WIP parades. And then come back here and see that I really did a lot, a lot of progress. But as much as I remember, I did this like dark green frame, all the leaves here and down there. Then I filled in some color in here, maybe the dark greens and the lighter greens. I had to frog something in the middle. So I did and redid it and did it again. Then in the beginning of the year, I only had like half the face. So I filled in a big chunk of the face and even started on the hair. The biggest problem of this chart is that the key to the chart is not 100% like easy, because not all the symbols of this chart, of the key, have a symbol. So for example, we have this very easy to understand like line, circle, square, and then we have this one and this one. Not a symbol, but like, yeah, you can easily understand like lighter yellow, darker orange, darker yellow. But what about, for example, we have purple, another purple, another purple. And then we have darker purple here. And then another purple here. And it's like, when they're all mixed together, mashed together, they are not exactly 100% visible. What I mean is like, let's say I'm stitching this purple. So it is very easy to mistake like this purple and that purple. Yeah, when I will look at the part of the pattern that has like this green leaves, I'll be like, oh, this is the darkest one, this is the lighter one, and maybe this is the lightest one. But it's not just the purples, it's about the greens, it's about the yellows. Some symbols are very close together, like this half triangle, this half triangle. We have a lot of squares, we have a lot of like half triangles, like not the best key to the pattern. And then I asked a friend from like a group who is making the electronic patterns, and she transferred this pattern. I copied the pattern and sent to her, and she transferred the pattern to the electronic version. Unfortunately, either she was doing it and she was just tired, or she was using the computer, and the computer cannot see the symbols very well, especially under the backstitch. So, for example, like this red is mixed with a darker red with a lot of times. So not 100% correct. So every time I cannot use just electronic pattern and just stitch on it. Every time I have to choose a color, I have to go on the key, I have to make sure which color on the palette is it. Then I have to make sure that my electronic pattern is like highlighting the correct color in the correct places. And then I have to make sure like on the pattern there are no other colors, or mistakes or anything. It's like takes me kind of long time to verify all this, like triple time verify, 15 time verify. So yeah, this is not a favorite part of the job. But at the same time, the stitching is very easy. The whole pattern is done in half stitch. So whenever you're like stitching, it's kind of fast going, and every thread can give you more stitches than you like used to with the full cross. I simply love it. I love the pattern. I love the design. I love the color scheme. I love a lot of greens and purples and reds and oranges. It's a very happy pattern. So this year I do want to not maybe focus on it, but stitch more. I cannot say I want to finish it like 100%, but maybe I want to at least reach 50%, let's say that, because right now it's about like 20% or 15% there. So I would like to reach at least 50% this year. Plus, this is very, very lovely stitch. The aid is good, the colors are good, the threads are good, just the problem with the pattern and the key. This project I think you can easily recognize. Anyone who's been watching Flosstube, I think so many people stitch this. This is Autumn Lane Stitchery, the Dark Queen of the Earth. It was a sale a couple of years ago. It was a 12-part sale where every month they would give you a part and you have to stitch, and the parts were ginormous. I have to say this, but they are giant, like 3,000 or 3,500 stitches as one part is a lot. Of course, this whole project, you can see it's not even fitting in one screen, like it whole half down there and then upper part. But I'm happy to say that this year I finished 2 more parts, and now I'm down to only 3 parts left. So what is left is her flowers. There will be 3 flowers. There will be her hair, a little left in the face, like her eyes and the neck, and then there will be her feet and the beading. Unfortunately, I have a sad story connected with this project. While I was watching Flosstube, one of the girls who was stitching this pattern, she were giving away a beading pack. And usually I do take part in giveaways. Sometimes it's because I really want things. Sometimes it's just because I want to support people, because I had accidents when people were not signing up for giveaways, and it really kind of upset me a little bit. So now I'm like, I see not many people, like not like 1,000 people sign up, but like 10. I'm like, okay, I will sign up just so have more participants. It will be funnier, like give the Flosstuber more emotions and support and things like this. But I won the bidding pack, and we connected in the Instagram, and I asked the girl if she will be willing to send the bidding pack as like EMS, or not just in a letter, but like she should have filled in the explanation for the package, including my phone number, like Chinese address, everything. Because I tried to explain to her that by law in China, any incoming packages, letters, postcards, they are bound to 20% incoming tax. So anything that is sent to me, I have to pay 20% for it. It doesn't matter even if you say it's a gift, they will count, like the post office, they will count how much I will have to like pay 20% out of the postage or out of like general what is inside, and they will tell me 20% I have to pay. So I tried to explain to her that in China it's kind of hard, it's kind of difficult. So otherwise they will not let the package out and they will not deliver it to me. If I will not pay it, for it, they will like lose it. It is true. It's 100% true. But she was not willing to listen, and she said that it's okay. She's just gonna put it in an envelope, put a mark on, like stamp on it, and that's gonna be it. And she doesn't want to bother with filling all the documents. She doesn't have time for it and anything. On this, I said like, okay, it doesn't matter. Just don't send it to me. Just do another giveaway. Give it to someone else. Like I'm pretty sure there were some people from US who wanted it. It's like you don't need to send it abroad. Like I wholeheartedly just want to give it to someone else. Just don't send it to me because it will be lost. She's like, no, it's okay. We will see, blah, blah, blah. And of course it's lost. Of course, it's never reached me. No one called me because they didn't have my phone. And because they didn't have my phone, they could not be paid. And because they could not be paid, probably they just dispose of it. And it's not like the place I can go to and find it. First of all, in Beijing, we have 1,000 post offices. Secondly, I don't know if it would be coming to Beijing from America or it's gonna be to probably another harbor city like Shanghai or Guangzhou. Maybe it's gonna be to Harbin or some other places. Haikou, a lot of shipments comes from America there. So that's why I was like, I don't even know where to start and how to find it. I could call any post office, but they will not be knowing because just saying your name and your address is not enough. If you want to send package to China, you have to try very, very hard. And yeah, it's a bummer. And of course, I'm a little upset with it. And but anyway, when I will be going into bidding, I will probably just search Taobao for something like suitable, or I will look at my stash of beads and my stash of embellishments, and I will see if there is something like I find suitable or especially fits this theme. So I think this will gonna be finish. At least I'm hoping for a close finish on this one. Sorry for the lightning right now. It's like lunchtime, so the sun just decided to divide my window in half and I can't do anything with it. I already tried to play with the curtains. I tried to put extra light or something, but because it's very sunny today, this part of the table is super hot and that part of the table is dark. Let's just if I will be waiting for a better day or a better time, I think this video will never come out, because this whole week, from the beginning of the week, I was trying to make a video, and then every day the weather was just some crazy. Never ideal lighting, always super sunny, moving very fast, I don't know. And this is like a long video, so I can't just use like 10 minutes and go. Sorry. So don't I hope it's fine on the camera. Yes, for the eyes it's like very, very funny, like half is the dark side, half is the light side. Alright, so this is love ornament from Dimensions, and as you can see, I am mostly done here. This is a part of a 6-piece series, and I'm thinking that this year there will be maybe some sales on stitching the series, or maybe there will be some more games or something where I can take part, and I will finish it there, because it's again about the Ada. It's 18 count Ada. It's very stiff and I'm not a fan. Like, I do like even weave and linen more than Ada, but I'm okay with stitching on a soft Ada, like I've stitched Laurel or a couple others. I'm okay with Ada, but 18 count is like my enemy number one. It's a very stiff, it's very hard, and because I'm stitching with CXC threads, they are ripping apart, they are fraying, they just non-exist on this fabric. when you stitch like on softer linen or even weave, they are amazing. They give you fuller coverage. They're a little fluffy. They're so easy to pull. They're like very good. Even better than DMC, because DMC doesn't give you like very good coverage in my mind, because DMC are thinner than CXC. But when I'm working on the Ada is so stiff that it's cutting the floss. So yeah. Last year I only had like a part of the frame, and this year I filled in like most of the things. If I'm talking this year, I'm in 2024. I haven't stitched it in 2025 yet. So for 25 I'm planning to finish this ornament and start ornament number 4. At least to start it, ideally also to finish, but at least to start it. Next project is one of my favorite. It's like the projects, whenever I touch, I'm just in, I don't know, euphoria. I'm feeling euphoria from working on it. I love the design. It's this very like, no, I cannot say rustic, but like retro style Father Frost, Father Noel, which is very amazing. I love this style of designs. But for the whole year, I think I haven't touched it much. I remember last year, in the beginning of the year, I take it as a travel project for a whole week, and during the week, I filled in the whites, the blues, added some reds, and all the brown stitches here. So I'm taking like stitches, the most used colors, and just filling them in, and like dealing with the color one by one. That's why it looks like nothing much. But since then, I also did it in the very beginning of the 2024, in the beginning of January. So basically you already saw it in the last WIP parade, if you have watched WIP parade. And since then I haven't touched it. I don't know why. Maybe one of the big problems I have with this is the fabric, because I am stitching it on this, to show you, here. Very sparkly fabric. It is linen. It is linen, and it is super sparkly. And when I think, for me at the moment, it is worse than stitching on the dark fabric, because whenever you stitch on the dark fabric, you can still see the holes like under the certain light, and then you can put something on your knees and like see through the holes. But this like and still see through the holes, but this sparkles. I'm not sure what's the correct name for them. This fabric, it really distorts the eyesight. So basically, it's very difficult to see the holes. So when it's very, very close to the already stitched pieces, it's fine. But like counting from like some piece and stitching like some further parts away, oh, that's really such a bummer. So that's why I think I suffered for the whole week in January, and almost killed my eyes. So that's why for the rest of the year I was like, I better stitch something else. But anyway, I still in love with the design, and I'm looking forward to stitching it more and more. I'm not sure this year this will be a finish, because it's such a big design, and apart from all the stitches, it has a lot of like craning and embellishments. Like the whole frame around the Santa Claus and the whole like backstitch on it, they are done with craning, which I am okay with stitching, but of course it's not like favorite. Plus, it has a lot of like toys or embellishments, which of course I don't have because I only have the book. This was a Secret Santa exchange gift, and my friend from already like a dead chat, cross-stitch chat, but at that moment we were talking for about a couple years, and she knew I wanted the Santa, and she found this book for me. And the moment I got it, I was like so happy. So in her honor, I have to finish this as fast as I can. But probably not this year, but at least do a substantial amount of progress here. This year, I don't think I will be focusing on like stitch winter theme pieces in winter and summer thing in summer and Halloween during Halloween season. I think I will just pick up what I want, because basically if I do it this way, I never get to stitch anything Halloween or winter. Like last September, October, I was super busy with other stitches for the market. I literally never got to stitch any witchy stuff. I was planning and I never got to. So I was super bummed out, and now I'm like, who cares if I stitch Santa in the summer or Halloween in spring? I'll just do it. I'll just do it, and I do it. So I'm not sure when I'm gonna stitch the Santa, but I will try to pick it up as much as I can during the year. One more project here is by, I think it's Italian company, Vervaco. And this design called Song de Sudan, I think 4, designed by Franz Hegel, or he's like an artist and it based on his drawing, I'm not sure. But this kit I found on Taobao. It came to me with like not a perfect condition, but it's okay. I have an electronic pattern for this, all the floss for this, and oh my god, the floss is beautiful. It's like such a joy in colors, such a amazingness, and I'm happy to say that I did stitch quite a lot last year. So before that I had just this like triangle of fields, and then I filled in the trees, added some extra here, this whole part, some of the poppies, and even here. So whenever it's a really big pattern, and this one should be like a kind of big one, it's 16 inches on almost 13 inches, so I tend to stitch it in like petites or half stitches, 1/1 or 2/1 if it has any blends. I think here I'm stitching 1/1 if I'm not mistaken. This project just gave me a lot of joy. I stitched it last maybe summer, only like one time, but now, as I said, I'm planning not to like separate summer, winter, any season stitches. I'm just gonna pick them up and stitch, so I think it will go faster. Also, this is a larger work. I don't think it will be finished this year, but I'm counting on a big progress, because basically I have like this part done, kind of like poppies up to here, the whole triangle field, and all I need to do is another triangle field of poppies, this house, and a frame. Like, that's not undoable. Maybe I'm gonna go for 50%, maybe I'm gonna go for 60%. I have to see how fast it will go, but the only difficulty is that when I'm stitching 1/1, is that it's very difficult to count. For example, like this part is like very difficult to count on its own. It's easier when it's like big chunks of color and you just count every row based on the next row. But when it's like onesies, confetti, it's kind of very difficult to count for where it goes and not to be mistaken. And I go over and recount and double check and triple check. And of course, when you're just stitching, it's easier. But when you're counting, it kind of hurts my eyes more than actually stitching. So yeah, but anyway, I love how it looks. I love how the stitches look, and I'm not doing like big projects, like ginormous projects anymore, because I only have so much space on my walls, not infinite space, and a lot of space on my walls are already occupied by cross stitch or paintings. And if anyone is interested, just leave a comment. One day maybe I'll make a video on my wall space and all the cross stitch I have on my walls and on display in my house. So yeah, when you arrive in my home, it's 100% a cross stitcher home. So yeah, it's a lot. So if I have something, some painting or something I want to display, it's always like a little fight with my inner self on where to put it. There is less and less free space here. So that's why I'm not doing it a giant one. I want to make it a very, very small, so it gets less wall space, as less as it can. One more design from the package from the US was Carriage House Samplings Nature's Peace. And I truly fall in love with this design when I saw it. I know there is a possibility to stitch the whole design with the hand-dyed threads, but they also give a DMC floss, so I just use DMC, and I can't say I'm disappointed. I'm actually super in love how bright it is, how very, very funny and interesting it is. I really love this pattern. And so first of all, I'm very proud of myself how much I did it, because by the beginning of 2024, I only had this goat and a part of the mountain. So this whole thing you see is a new thing, only stitched in 2024. I don't know why exactly I haven't finished it. I was gonna to. Actually, I think in one of the videos I even said that, oh guys, I'm gonna stitch it, I'm gonna finish it soon, yeah, look. And then I never finished it. Why? I don't know. But as you can see, it's very little left. It's only like the flowers, the moose's head, some fill in the mountain, and some of the stars. So I think the next time I pick it up, definitely 100%, 1000%, that it's a very quick and very fast finish, and it's gonna be a pillow for my home. Not for the market, not for anything, but for my home. And I love the fabric I used. It's a Zweigart Murano 32 count, but it's also have this like marble, how to say, print on it, marble brown print. So it's not 100% like brown, it's actually like a little interesting, a little more interesting. And I like how it looks more than on this lighter fabric. I think this is like more darker woods theme, and I like it. This is was a free sale from Abyssue Designs, Dogs of Disney. I'm not sure if it was like 2021 or 2022. I bet 21. And during the sale, she gave us like a dog per month. And by the end of the sale, you could download all the 20 dogs, I think. But she also gave us extra 5 or 6 dogs. So there is a lot. Right now, I think my friend was complaining that at the moment she's selling it for 30 euros on Etsy, and it's like too much. Of course, the designers are free to put whatever price they want, but considering like that the Russian ruble fall down like significantly. Right now, 30 euros is a small like treasure amount, so no one really can buy it. So I'm very lucky I have it. I'm super blessed that I did take part in this sale, and I have all the patterns, and I'm still stitching them. I did not like all the dogs, and I'm not gonna do all of them. I also did not like the cat sale. The next year she had Cats of Disney. I did not like them at all, so I'm not doing that. But what I am doing is I'm doing 4 dogs in a row, not a 5, because after I kind of measured it correctly, but then if I put one more dog here, the end will be super small. So I was like, I want to sew my own tote bag from this fabric. So I was like, oh, I don't want to make it like too close to the side. So I think I will leave like 4 dogs in a row and maybe do 5 rows. Or I will do 4 dogs, 4 rows, and then I will do Dogs of Disney, just name, not sure. But I will not include all the dogs, but I really like her extra dogs. So maybe instead of like the dogs from the cell, I will include extra dogs in the... So yeah, I'm on all the places, all over it, and it was kind of difficult for me. I used to stitch from electronic patterns, so printing every time, new dog, stitching it, and then I had to make my own backstitch for their names because the ones they use for the cell I don't like. It's too square-ish for me. So I kind of chart it with my hand and then stitch it. Yeah, I kind of like try to make them look alike, but you can see because I'm stitching it from different time and different mood, it's like kind of little evolution, evolve from moment to moment. Last year I just finished 1 doggy. I do plan to stitch more dogs this year, but not finish. This is not like a finish focus, but maybe a focus for the finish of the line, or couple more dogs finished, like 3-4 dogs. So at least like next year I can easily finish it, because every dog is at least like 1,000 stitches. So it's a good chunk of stitches, but every dog also has kind of like a lot of colors and not super easy to count them from each other. So yeah, mostly it's about the organizing the floss, organizing the fabric, counting out and things like this. When you start stitching, pretty easy, but because of this thing is like I kind of like tend to leave it away a little bit, but I hope this year I will stitch more. One of the things I 100% want to finish is the all forest embroidery frog princess. I am in love with this pattern. I admire it every time I'm picking it up. I love that I bought kind of pricey kit, not just the pattern, so I have all their floss and the colors are amazing. Variegation is great. Like everything is super cool. I'm still using their magnets and everything. It's like, I love it. But I think this year I want to focus on a finish, because they just had last year release of a nutcracker, and that is my new love. Like, it's already been a year and I'm still thinking about it. So if it's been a year and I still want to stitch it and I want to buy it and I want to buy the whole kit, which is not cheap. All Forest is not cheap company, but trust me, their kit's worth it. Like maybe if your pattern have more white than other colors, maybe not. But if it's a colorful pattern, 100% worth it, because you will be paying for amazing variegation of floss. Like this whole arc is stitched with just 1 floss, and the variegation on it comes from the like orangish to the red like brick wall. Yep, super cute. And we're losing the sun already. What the... Okay, let's try to move faster. This year I stitched from this line up, down, and reached the bottom and stitched the frog. Also, I stitched most of her frog and her, from maybe like this part, I stitched up her neck, her headpiece, her eyes, and down. So I really love that the variegation, for example, on this frog, these leaves and her frog is just one color. It's literally one color. It's not different colors. It's one thread. And for example, for her frog, I chose to cut out the darker pieces, and the lighter ones I stitched like on here. So I will be using the darker one. One is lighter, I cut it, stitch here. Darker one, I cut it, stitch here. So like with their colors, with the all forest embroidery dies, you can like play, you can organize your own, you can do what they say, but also at the same time you can do what you want, and your design will be totally different from the preview, totally different from other stitches. You can do whatever you want. So yeah, I really like it. But yeah, maybe it's high time to finish it and order the nutcracker, because today this spring I have a possibility to ask my mom to come to China, invite my mom to come to China. So if by springtime I can finish it, I will be able to order all forest, and my mom can bring it to me. Like I will pay for it, but she can deliver it for me, so I don't need to pay international shipping. So I think it's worth a try. What do you think? One more project I dearly love is John Clayton circles. Like once I tried one circle by him, I was very skeptical on all the people gushing and saying, "Oh my God, John Clayton is amazing! His patterns are the best in the world! It's so cool!" Blah 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 blah. I was super skeptical, but then I tried one circle, accidentally bought in Thailand, and I was like, "Oh, this is really magic!" Like nothing really much. It's kind of like retro, not many colors. Some colors are kind of like strange together, but then you finish and it's like, wow. So after that, I bought from people 2 patterns by John Clayton. I have this farmhouse, which we call the like killer house because it looks like the house from the Chainsaw Massacre. And I also have another like castle, German castle, I think, also by him, but it's not a circle. So I think it's high time for me to finish this design, because I already finished this. Like I reached the right top corner, then I reached the lower left corner. Lower right corner is not finished. Like I still need to do the lighter beige here, and of course you see there is no corner here, but I did reach the furthest left. So I think it won't be too difficult to finish. Actually, by today, I think I only have 3,000 to 4,000 stitches here left. 1 month of work, 2 months of work, and I can easily finish it. Yeah, I'm not fast stitcher. Like some people can stitch a couple hours and do 600 stitches. I stitch couple hours, I do 150, 200 stitches. Really, like I get distracted a lot, my cats come to play, I watch some movies, I call someone, talk, and like I'm a very lazy stitcher. Mostly stitching for me, yeah, it is a hobby, but it's also a relaxing hobby. Sometimes I try to push myself, but it's never a good idea. So that's why I think if I take it slowly, it's 100% I finish this year. I will be super happy. I want to frame it in a circle frame and leave it in my home. I love how it looks. I love the watercolor effect of the stitches. Even like very kind of strange like changes of color. I still think they are amazing. Like it's not exactly blending with each other, but they do suit together. So mostly there is more brown left, more blue left, more brown left, not much of a change. But at the same time, every time I pick it up, it's give me lots of joy. Like The beginning of January here, I already stitched some of the browns, not much, but I did stitch a little bit of brown. This video is really late, trust me. And I was not bummed with just stitching brown. Like, not much change of color, but I was enjoying it. I was like, everything is understandable, big pieces of chunks of color. That's really, really nice. And the only maybe thing that upsets me a little bit is that it's not a white fabric. This is actually a Belfast printed with like marble white grayish. It should have like watercolory things, but mostly just looks like it's not ironed well. Yeah, it is not ironed well because it was in work until recently, and you can still see the hoop marks. But at the same time, it should have what a color thing is, not just white background. But I think it's like, yeah, super light, so not visible on the eye. Also, you see that I do have some kind of FOMO because a couple of years ago, everybody started to promoting Mill Hill. Everybody was stitching Mill Hill. They were like gushing over, like, oh my god, it's so good. So of course I was like, I don't like the, maybe unpopular opinion, whatever, block me, but I don't like the small designs. Just not my style. It's super retro, not much detail. I don't understand this, like just a bunch of brown things together and it's like a violin. I have no idea where is the violin. Like, I just see like a bunch of brown. I like more detailed things, but I found the design on Taobao which I actually liked. I like stitching nature, I like stitching trees and flowers and things, and I like the colors here a lot. So I was like, okay, I will try a bigger Mill Hill. It's not that big, it's about 10 to 12,000 stitches, so it's okay. And the colors here are amazing, the purples, the greens, I love them. So they won't be too difficult, right? I was super mistaken because I hated stitching on the perforated paper. Maybe for smaller designs it's easier to handle, but like the bigger design, even if like I hold it from both sides, I still cannot reach this part, and then every time I'm trying to stitch it, it's gonna bend. I need to check on my hands if it's not too oily. I need to go wash it like every 30 minutes, and then I need to dry it, and then I cannot let my cat sneeze on it and like be very, very careful she doesn't step on it, things like this. So it was kind of like a nightmare. And then this summer, I think I was stitching it at work and I ripped it. Like, I don't know if you can see here very well, but there is like a tape, just normal tape here, because I ripped through some of the holes when I was stitching this piece of trunk. And yeah, I fixed it. I fixed it from the behind, then I stitched it over, and now it's super fixed. You cannot see from the front, you cannot see what's wrong, where it was ripped, but at the same time, like, I really started to hate it, so I put it away, and then everyone started to gush about like this magnetic hoops, not hoops like, but like magnetic wooden hoops, let's say. I did found them in China on Taobao and I ordered. So this is how they look. And yeah, they are a life changer. They're a game changer. Exactly. Like, I put it like this and I have a whole holder. I don't need to bend the paper. Like, I can hold it very stiffly. I can stitch it very nicely. My hand now can touch it. It's like, yeah, it's a game changer. And that's why this year I did stitch much more. Like, by the beginning of the year, I only had like a little bit of green here, some of the brown here, and like a little purple here. That's it. All of this is new. All of it is new. And I really like how much progress I did on it. So if I'm using the wooden hoop and magnetic hoop, and I will be very careful. I think I can stitch it. I think I can finish it. Like, I think it's only like 5,000 stitches left here, 5 to 6,000 maybe. 5,000 stitches plus beads, let's say that. There's a lot of beads here, but I will keep the beads till the very end. So 5,000 stitches plus beads, I think I can do that this year. Plus, usually this work fits in a lot of prompts in my games. Like last year I had a prompt for the sunlight, the moon, I had a prompt for the green, purple, like a lot of prompts. So I think if I can fit it in many games at once, I will be putting in a lot of progress, and I might finish it. I will try my best. One more design that travels through years with me now is Romantic Jane, designed by Victoria Ivchenko. And this was started on my birthday in 2021. Yeah, I think so. So now it's been already 3 years. It's almost done. I think there is like about 1,000 stitches left, maybe less, and then a couple thousand backstitch. So it will be a very easy finish this year. I don't know exactly why I haven't finished it last year. Yeah, I know, because I had other things to do, but I still put in a big chunk of work last year. Like last year, I've been stitching this whole part of her dress and her like sleeves, her skirt, other sleeve, and then I've put in quite a lot of like stitches around her, because that is like the least used colors, and I just eliminate them one by one. Pick out some colors, eliminate them. Yeah, they're done. That's cool. One thing that I'm gonna change in this pattern is the colorful half stitch around her. Like there is some like droplets of color around her, different colors, but I don't see it on my fabric. I already have a very nice peach, like sandy marble fabric, which I really like with this pattern. I really like her pinkish peachy look on it. So I don't see why I need extra colors, which will not look exactly like watercolor on this fabric anyway. Of course, like maybe another unpopular opinion, but I don't like colorful half stitch on colorful fabric. Yeah, I can understand when it's needed. For example, when you have a shooting star and the tail is half stitch and you have to like show the tail. Yeah, it's needed, or it's part of the story. But when you have a colorful fabric and you do, for example, a half stitch circle in a different color, which is like not even like same color or 100% different, is like, I don't know how to explain it better, but it just really hurts my eyes to look at that. Because like if I use orange half stitch on a brown fabric, it's not gonna be orange anymore. It's gonna be like dirty orangish if you look from afar. Or if I use like, for example, some yellow on a dark blue, I couldn't even see those half stitches on far away. So yeah, no half stitches here. So I'm gonna make my work even less, and this is 100% finished this year. The first pattern I bought in China from the Chinese designer. The designer is Orang now on Taobao, or I think right now she changed her name to Orange Love. She has her own website, and I was really sold out on this very detailed, very authentic, like her own design, you know. This is definitely Chinese artist draw or maybe AI draw, and then she remade it into her design. This is super cool. I love the Chinese designers. They are very distinctively different from Russian ones. Russian ones maybe also have a lot of backstitch and blends and things, but I don't know how to say, but Chinese ones are different and I love it. And of course I wanted to support the Chinese ones, so I bought the whole kit. They don't sell the patterns, they sell the kits with the fabric and all the floss, and to prevent from sharing, they do not tell you which floss is which. They just say the numbers on the palette. And so this is a really large project. It's supposed to be 324 and 268, and this is the markings in centimeters. Really big one. As I like to say, it's my full coverage piece. I know it's not full coverage, but it kind of have the same amount of colors as a usual full coverage, because this is like 30, 60, 90, and like 100 something. As you can see, there is like 2 full palette of floss, which I'm using this one more, and this one I'm probably not using at the most, and 2 palettes of blends. This is only blends, and there is a lot, like a lot. Stepping aside, the colors are really nice. The colors are really nice. It's very like candy. Some colors are like candy, some colors are like very cute. Not much dark pieces, but because I'm not a fan of huge pieces, I don't need a cross stitch the size of my living room. I decided to stitch it with petites, half stitches, 1/1 on 32 count, and this is what I have. And last year, I think I finished 3 pages. I'm doing the back stitch also as soon as I finish the page, so I don't need to go back to it. And I think I had like up to here, so I finished like almost full page here, just a little less. And then I had this partial page, and then like here partial page. But I'm already happy. I'm really happy. In 2024, I remember I did have like resolution to stitch 4 pages per year, because like 4 seasons, 1 page per season. It didn't work out, but at least I did 3. It's still very good. Another thing, I want to have a resolution this year. I want to try another thing. So I like the games where you have to finish special prompts for every month. So I usually finish all the prompts before the end of the month. I try not to put them in the next month or do it like the very last second in the last day. So I try to finish them before the end of the month. And usually I have couple days, 3 days that I'm stitching and I'm not using it for anything. Like I'm not counting my stitches, I'm not using these stitches for any other games because I already finished for this month. I'm just waiting for the next month prompts. So this year I will try to pick up this project whenever I'm like reaching these days. So whenever I won't need to count my stitches and won't need to like focus on stitching certain amount, I will pick up this project and I will put in as many stitches as I can just in this like 3-4 days, and then maybe I will not finish the full page in just 3 days. Of course I will not, because even partial page takes me like a week of constant stitching, but at least I will put more days into stitching in this, and I will be really happy with it. I'm thinking even some progress is a really good progress. So this year I'm focusing on her face and hair and the leg. So this row of pages. If I will have some extra time, sure, I might go here, I might go here. But all these rows are like have less stitching than her face, than her like figure. So I think if I will deal with her, it will be faster and easier to stitch other things. And we've reached a point where we're out of projects from older years, and we start with 4 projects from 2024, which go into 2025. First one is a pattern from Anna Klautova. This is like I order pattern on according to the my illustration. I used AI to generate this illustration, and I really like it. It's based on my favorite cartoon, Adventure Time. I love the heroes, I love the vampire girl, I love the whole aesthetics inside of this pattern, so I asked her to make it for me. I did pay for it, of course, and here it is. Unfortunately, I was stitching it like a lot during the fall, during the early fall, maybe September, October, but then I was busy with markets. November, December were very busy with markets, so I did not stitch on it as much. I kind of like leave it out, so that's why it's not a finish, but it's very, very soon finished, because on this pattern I'm not stitching the air background like the sky. I'm stitching this the clouds and the ground, but I'm not stitching the air background, so it will be less stitches that's on the pattern itself, and there is a tons of backstitch, but I love backstitch, so I'm not scared. It will be just a joy, and I'm so happy that I have this pattern. Unfortunately, this pattern also have this black spot, which is like the second you can see this WIP parade, and again I have no idea where it came from. Like, I don't leave my works out, I don't put them next to the markers, I don't even have any black markers on the go. So yeah, I have no idea where the black spots came from, the second one, but I need to finish these works before there are more of them, before they multiply. One more thing that I started 2024 was the Santa on a wood by the Ukrainian company fruzel'ok. To my mind, this is the most best quality wood base among all other companies or among all other designers that I ever tried. Not sure how you can order right now, if they're open or not. I haven't seen any like news about them. I haven't seen anything. It is a Ukrainian company, so you understand why it's not possible to buy right now. But even from abroad, I don't know how to order them right now. So it's one of the last wooden bases from them that I have, and I'm kind of upset that it's gonna finish soon, but I still started it, and this is how much I have. And actually, I'm so happy how I have it, because this is such a joy to stitch. Like, every little piece, every color. Look at these colors. They are the colors of joy, of winter, of like Christmas presents. Just a lovely, lovely stitch. And of course, it's not much left, so this year, definitely, I'm stitching it for myself. It will be a decoration for my home. It can stand, it has a special stand-in. So next year, it will definitely decorate my New Year Christmas house, and you will see it in many videos. Unfortunately, as I do with other wooden pieces, I was using as a travel stitch. And you might start screaming at me that this piece is not the best for travel stitching. It's not small, and it's not like full, how to say, so it's easy to break, and it did break. Like this piece, it broke off. So this whole thing is just extra. And one day I took it in my bag, in a tote bag. I actually put it next to like hard things, so it will keep it intact, but I think it didn't. So this whole thing broke. Fortunately, by that moment I already had a white stitch there, so it didn't fall off, it just like hanging there, and I asked Aaron to help me to glue it. So he did glue it as best as he could, but also it's still a little shaky. And I did fill in with brown stitches, and I still have some more brown stitches to do, so I hope the stitches will help me like hold it. But every time I need to stitch this part, I have to like hold this whole part very, very carefully and stitch it slowly. Like if here I can do like 100 stitches per hour, this part I'm doing like 50 stitches per hour. It's like twice slowly, and I'm super careful not to do any pressure on it. Yeah, but it's my fault, I understand. I was really bummed when I found out I broke it, but it's for my home, so if you won't tell anyone, I won't tell anyone. Last year I did have a plan to stitch like a dragon per month, which it did not happen, but it did give me 5 finished dragons and 1 on the go. So I did stitch 6 dragons, I think, which is already really good. And so what? It's not 12 dragons, it's 6 dragons, it's still a lot of dragons. This year, fortunately, I don't have a plan to stitch as many snakes as I can. No, I will choose later in the year, I will choose a very beautiful like big pattern of the snake, and I will start it. At least start it. I don't know if I will finish it, but like a big one. But I will stitch a snake, one snake this year. One. I'm not gonna stitch some snake magnets or smalls or whatever. Just one big beautiful snake for the year of the snake. But I did start Zlato Runo, which is like golden something. Sorry, my head is not working right now. So this is supposed to be the measurements and called the Magic of the East. So it was the kit on the Ada, but I decided not to stitch it on the Ada. I decided to stitch it on the sweater. Maybe it's not as beautiful as it's supposed to be, but there will be backstitch. I will iron it more. And anyway, it's a hoodie. So what is left is to finish the sun, which because of the hoodie, it all got very elongated. I still like the design. Like, I don't think it got worse, it just got different. Nothing here like changed so badly, it just got longer. So I was like, okay, I have a different dragon. So the sun also changed, and I need to make it a full circle. And also this part, like I need to finish his tail. There are some flowers here, there is a branch, another flower here. So this part is done, but on the sides there is still a lot to stitch. That's it. That's gonna be a very fast finish, just 1,000 stitches with the back stitch. But as I said many times, I had this awful idea to stitch on a sweatshirt without the soluble canvas, just on a sweatshirt. So yeah, I do not recommend anyone to do it. I already said the whole year in my videos I say don't do it, and then someone at the end of last year said you need to do like the tutorial on how to do it, and I'm like, no, I don't want anyone to do it. Why should I do a tutorial on how to do it if it's not joy. It's not. It's really like a love and hate project. I love the design, I love the colors, I love the dragon. I hate stitching it. But it's very close to finish, and I want to wear this sweatshirt this spring. I started in March, so maybe my plan is to finish it by March or in March to make a full like year circle. I don't know, but I love it. I love how it looks, I just don't like stitching it. But fortunately, there is very little left. And my very last start of 2024 and my very last WIP is the Apple Blossom by Natalia Orekhova, or Elka Cross. By the way, when I was making like in my Instagram, I already showed all the finishes of 2024, and in 2024 I finished another Apple Blossom by another designer, Paradise Stitch. But at that moment when I was posting about it, I was finishing this one and I accidentally mismatched them and I mentioned this designer on that design, like, if you can understand me. So she contacted me. It's like, that's not my design. I'm like, oh yeah, shit. Like, I'm just stitching yours now. So I was thinking about you. And she laughed and she's like, yeah, okay, it's not a big deal. It's just like funny. I'm like, yeah. So if you go to my Instagram, like moments and I don't know, memories or whatever it's called, the saved ones, I already posted all my finishes of 2024. If you're interested, you can see that there is another Apple Blossom, but the designer is wrong. It's okay, whatever. So this is an Apple Blossom, the second one. If you watched my previous December video, you know that my plan was to stitch the Apple Blossom December and January, and then 2 or 3 more circled flowers. And this not happened. This never happened, and this will not happen. This will happen during the year, but not in January, because I was not feeling well in January, beginning of January. I was like really not feeling well, as much as I did not stitch a single cross full week of January, like first full week of January. So that's why this one never finished, never started next one. And truthfully, I was really not in the mood to jump around the projects, to push myself. If I would be stitching like normally, these days I can stitch like 200, 300 stitches, then enjoy my life, play with cats, go out, see my friends, things like that. But if I would push myself, I would have to stitch about 1,000 a day. It means full day of cross stitch, just sitting, not doing anything, not talking to anyone, just focusing on my stitches. And after a couple of days, I will hate it. Like, seriously, I will hate it. So I talked to Aaron, and he said, like, why do you want to do it? You already gave like my mom and Dante's amazing New Year presents. Like, we have an agreement, like not spoken agreement, but like inside agreement, that I prepare them gifts for Russian New Year, and then they prepare me gifts for Chinese New Year. So he's like, you don't need to give them gifts for Chinese New Year. You already give them gifts for Russian New Year. I'm like, yeah, but I didn't give them any cross stitch this year. He's like, it's okay. You already prepared amazing gifts for New Year. You don't really need to like prepare cross stitch every year. You can do it next year. So I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, even if I push myself, I'm not sure I can finish all of them. And then I don't want to do like mom and aunt's present and 2 other aunts will be left out. It's like, whom should I choose out of the 3 aunts? Or should I just give it to mom and then just leave out all the aunties? So it's kind of like this. So I decided my plan to finish it in baskets will be next year present for Russian New Year. So that's why the circles hasn't grown since you have seen it last time, but it's still such a joy to stitch. And I think I will have a lot of prompts to stitch it like in spring months, like a lot of about pink or spring or flower or tree or something. So I will put in a lot of stitches in it. And of course, my plan is to finish this circle and at least like 3 more. We'll see what designers I will choose. I just need them all to fit in like the hoop in the basket. But so far, this one does fit in. So I'm super happy. And this was my last cross stitch, my WIP of the year. You see, the weather is crazy. Like right now it's super cloudy. It's like so cloudy. I doubt you can see anything. It's so dark. Before it was super sunny. I was like really burning here. I tried to hide on the darker side of the table. Like very, very crazy weather. But I hope you could see something even in this lightning problems, and you enjoyed this video. So please tell me how many WIPs do you have, and if you feel comfortable with them or not comfortable. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter like how many, more than 20 or less than 20, more than 10 or less than 10. It's like more about like, what do you feel? How is your rotation working? And what is most comfortable for you to like, how do you start new things and at the same time not feel like so much left behind? Because I was struggling with it like at the end of last year and maybe the beginning of this year. So that's why my plans to finish everything. Plus, of course, tell me which one is your favorite, and if some of the projects get more votes, I will try to finish it as fast as I can and show it to you. Let's do it this way. So thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye!